very much. Hello, Nigeria. This is the big... Thank you very much. The game was played, the winner was known, the trophy was lifted, and for weeks, Africa moved on. But football is never just about 90 minutes, because months later, everything changed. CAF reviewed the final, reopened the controversy, and delivered a decision that stunned the continent. Senegal stripped off the AFCON 2025 title, not for losing on the pitch, but for what happened during the match. A walk-off, a protest, a moment of defiance. CAF says that moment broke the rules. And under those rules, the match is considered forfeited. The 1-0 victory rewritten as a 3-0 loss and the trophy awarded to Morocco. But here's where it gets complicated. Because Senegal did return to the pitch, they finished the match. They won on the field. Now the questions begin. Was this about discipline or interpretation? Was CAF enforcing order or overreaching his authority? Across Africa, opinions are divided. Some say rules are rules. Others say football cannot be rewritten after the final whistle. Nigeria, today we confront the controversy shaking African football. My name is Mark Otabo, and this is the Big... Thank you very much. Welcome back, Nigeria. If you're just joining us, this is the Big... And of course, let's bring it into focus. The AFCON final, the biggest stage in African football, Senegal versus Morocco. A tense match. High stakes, high emotions, then controversy strikes. Senegal walks off the pitch in protest. They later return, they complete the match, they win. Celebrations follow. History is written. But CAF steps in after, reviews the incident, and delivers a ruling. The walk-off violated competition rules. Sanction, match forfeited, result overturned, title reassigned. Nigeria, this is no longer just football. This is about authority, fairness, and the power to rewrite outcomes. So today, the question is clear. CAF's AFCON 2025 decision, bold move or big blunder? Let's meet our guests. First, a football analyst who believes this decision undermines the spirit of the game. He says what happened on the pitch should remain final. Please welcome Moyomade Adegbite. Come on. Please put your hands together for him once again. Thank you. All right. And on the other side, a sports strategist who believes discipline must come first. He says no team is bigger than the rules. Please welcome Omowale Akintunde to the podium. All right, thank you. There you have it. The stage is set. When we return, to be time to hold it off on this beautiful show called The Big... Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Big... All right. Moyomade, you believe CAF made a blunder. Why?
I'll start with this. A football game is determined on the pitch. So a football game is valid enough to finish. It should be valid enough to count. In the 2025 AFCON final, in the 98th minute, Morocco were awarded the penalty. However, the Senegalese did not agree with this decision and they left the pitch. They came back to the pitch, the referee blew the whistle for the game to continue. The game went on and Senegal won the game on the pitch. However, 2 months later, the Confederation of African Football CAF made a statement that Senegal had been stripped of the trophy for breaking a regulation according to the Article 82 of CAF regulations. Yes, Senegal did break the rules. Rules are rules, and no team are bigger than the rules. However, the problem here is timing. The rule was broken during the game and not after the game. They came back into the game. The referee was in control of the game. The referee was appointed by CAF and he was in control of the game, blew the whistle for the game to continue. And the game did continue. So the concern here is, why did it take CAF 2 months to act on a decision, to decide on a rule that they implemented? It was heard that Morocco appealed. That's why CAF took it up to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. However, football is played on the pitch. Football is won on the pitch and not off the pitch. Thank you.
You can do better than that. Thank you. All right, Akinwale. You are saying it's a bold move.
Yes.
How do you begin?
Okay, now listen. The rule is like a guide, a drum that guides the dance. When this drum stops and we ignore this dance, then the dance doesn't become what we see as fun and entertainment anymore. Rather, it descends into a chaotic charade. Now, the wise should know that every single thing that guides the game is about the rules. Now, when these rules are broken, then we undermine the integrity of this game. CAF made a decision. They are in charge of this game. The game is not just won on the pitch, because if it is won on the pitch, then the rules that guide this game are actually nothing. This game, a game of football, a game that is surrounded by emotion, but governed by integrity, governed by rules that have been set and put in place for situations like this. Now, this situation now arises. Now, CAF is now enforcing this rule, and then there is an uproar on it. No. If these rules, which are offenses that guides this game, become weak, then even an obedient goat will stray. So, CAF actually made the right decision. Is it a bold move? It is.
All right. Thank you very much. You can do better than that. Now, Moyo, he said something, and he said CAF is in charge of the game, and they made the rules based on their discretion. What if they made the rules to save face because they are trying to compete with global standards, and they have to do what they have to do to put that game at that level?
So now my question for you is this. Can you pinpoint some examples of world football on global stages that made this same decision that CAF made 2 months after the game has been played? Like I said when I started, rules are rules, and no team is bigger than the rule. However, when and how these rules are implemented are also as important as the rules. So in this case, CAF knew that this rule was broken during the game. Senegal went off the pitch, came back onto the pitch, and the game went on. And then 2 months later, a rule that existed in their own regulation, they decide on it 2 months later. And you talked about integrity. When we talk about integrity, we talk about taking decisions at the right time, during the moment, on the pitch, during the moment. So you talked about integrity. If we're speaking about integrity, this decision by CAF questions the credibility of CAF and African football as a whole.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. How do you respond to that? Because you said it's about integrity, and he's saying, look, when you talk about integrity, this particular decision has already thrown that integrity into some kind of dirt. Because it's after 2 months, you decided to sit down to make a rule and come back. Even one of the Moroccan players is kicking against the decision and saying he's not in support of CAF turning around to say Morocco won the trophy.
Okay, when I spoke about integrity, I'm not just talking about the fact that these are rules that are put in place. See, it takes wisdom to set rules. It takes discretion to know how and when this rule should be put in place. CAF is the bigger body in this case. They know what they are doing. When it comes between the team and the players, CAF is the bigger body. Did they make a bold move? Yes. Only giant leave gigantic footprints. They made a bold move. They made a decision, because if you check that game properly, if CAF had actually made a decision right there on that stage, there could be a stampede, and that would jeopardize the lives of fans. And CAF decided to sit back on this situation because that is what they should do. That is what they can do, because in this situation, CAF is the only actual licensed body which is actually made to take decisions like that, and they did just that.
Fantastic. Good. All right. You heard what Akinwale said now. He said, what if CAF was avoiding the most chaotic situation at that tournament? Because I really think, to a great extent, what if CAF actually thought, if we don't do what we have to do, there will be chaos in this tournament, and it will ruin the credibility of the match from the very beginning. Because the tournament has been said to be a very good tournament. The hosting has been lovely. The stadiums have been lauded. Everybody has been talking about it. What if that decision was going to be the chaotic climax for that CAF tournament, and CAF decided to wait until this time to make that decision?
I still stand on my point. Senegal broke the rule. We all know it. No argument, right? We agree. However, like I said, the rules are rules. The CAF waited 2 months to decide on a rule that they implemented. Now, my question for you is this. You talked about integrity, you talked about wisdom going back to decide on a rule that they implemented. Now, what if this incident happened in the semi-finals and Senegal went on to the finals and won the AFCON? Would CAF go on to review the semi-finals for a rule that they broke during the game, on the pitch? However, the reason CAF made this decision was because Morocco appealed. If Morocco did not appeal for the results in the finals, would CAF have made this decision?
Thank you very much. Okay, you are saying it's a bold move. Yeah, that's the stand you're taking today. But do you think it was petty on the part of Morocco to go and start appealing on a match that has already been concluded? The trophy has been awarded, celebrations has gone up. There was a bus tour in Senegal and everybody was happy. And now they are going to appeal. That appeal that Morocco went to appeal, was it necessary?
Okay, first things first. When we're talking about appeal, it's a legal move. It is something that should be done. So when that appealing was actually done, it's not something illegal. It's something that is actually supposed to be done on their part, and they did just that. And talking about this CAF rule, CAF did not actually make these rules per se. The rules of football, governing African football, was made by the International Football Association Board, IFAB, and which clearly states in their Law 5 that only the referee has the highest authority on the field to actually abandon a game or to call a game off. But in this case, the Senegalese player and team did not actually wait for that. They left the pitch. That's violation. Now, if you are saying because they left and they came back and they won the game, you cannot correct a wrong with another wrong after a right has been made. It doesn't work that way. So what is wrong? So what is wrong is wrong. You cannot set rice in a pot, come back, meet beans, and blame the pot for the change. No, the pot is meant to cook. It has cooked. Whatever you meet in it is what has actually been deposited in it before now.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. How do you respond to that?
So, you said you can't correct a wrong with a wrong. I agree with you. However, I mentioned that Senegal did break the rule. But the question still stands with the timing. You said they did not make the rule. However, you mentioned that the referee has the highest authority on the pitch. But that same referee that had the highest authority on the pitch made a decision for the game to go on, and the game ended on the pitch. Senegal won the game on the pitch. What does it say to fans who came to Morocco, watched the game, enjoyed the beautiful moments, only to hear months later that a game that they enjoyed in the moment, the outcome was decided months later? So my point here is this. Football game is played on the pitch. And what is played on the pitch should stay on the pitch. The referee, according to your words, has the highest authority in terms of making decisions. And he made that decision, and the football game came out with a result of Senegal leading 1-0. Again, it sounds like a confusion to fans who came out to enjoy this beautiful game, only to see that 2 months later, the scores has been reversed 3-0 in favor of Morocco. It's confusing, right? Because the game was played on the pitch. We all watched the game. We saw that Senegal won the game 1-0. The results are determined on the pitch, not overwritten by the outcomes by far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, Akinwale, I have to be very strict with you on this one. Now, CAF recognizes that Africans are very passionate about football.
Yes.
We saw the encomium that came with that final. We saw the adrenaline. We saw the frenzy atmosphere. The joy. All over the world watched that final and saw what happened at that game. What if the African fans will start feeling that CAF is trying to, override their feelings and emotions, something they have enjoyed and celebrated? Don't you think this is looking like, because you are a governing body, why do you want to oppress us you know, based on the fact that we have passion about this game. And football is a beautiful game. And when you begin to bring in this kind of chaotic rules and sanctions, you tend to undermine the place of the fans. How do you explain this when you say it is a bold move?
Okay, first things first. There's something I'd like to make clear. Football is watched by the populace,
right?
But it is not a popularity contest. The rules are decided by a governing body. That is why this governing body is put in place. Now, let's ask ourselves this question. What decides a goal? Is it when a player kicks the goal into the net? No. The goals are decided when the rules say it's a goal. If it has been either way, then every single goal that has been, every single football that has been kicked into the net will have been recorded as a goal. But not every one of them is a goal. We have had instances whereby players will think they scored, but the referee may call it back and say that's an offside. Now, what are we actually saying here? Football is great. Emotions may rise high, but the rules rise even higher than that. So we are talking about the rules here that has been set in place. Why we all cascade our emotions, our attention watching the game? The rule quietly sits behind us and covers us and closes us like a fence. Now, let's not make the mistake of making this fence weak, because this is actually what brings us together as one. Emotions rise high, but emotions do not decide the outcome of the game. The rule does.
Thank you very much. All right. Emotions rise high, clear positions, strong convictions, but now we test them. When we return, it's going to be the Crossfire. If you're just joining us, this is still the big show. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the big All right, this is a Crossfire right now where the both of you will have to go head to head. But before that clash starts, you are saying that the game was decided on the pitch by the referee, and coming back after 2 months to call it off is a big blunder on the part of CAF. But he has signposted a couple of times. Now, rules are rules, and those who actually set the rules feel it deemed fit for them to put the rules and guide the game. What if this is just a case of CAF trying to do what they have to do to ensure that they do not look bad in the eyes of the sponsors and people that actually put a lot of stakes on the CAF tournament? Because the tournament was quite controversial from the way things went out. What if this decision is to douse down some kind of tension and give some kind of credibility to the tournament that, look, regardless, we are in charge and we can do the right thing?
Thank you. As much as I get that CAF wanted to do the right thing.
Right.
However, timing is the issue. We finished a game, we all saw the scoreline 1-0. And because rules are rules, of course, Senegal broke the rules and they were punished for breaking the rules. Their coach was fined. Some of the Senegalese players who also left the pitch were fined. But then, months later, you come and strip them of the trophy and award a 3-0 win to Morocco. Now, according to the Article 82 of CAF regulation, it says, if a team leaves the pitch when the game is on and doesn't return for a specific period of time, they are deemed to have forfeited a match. That is, you can only forfeit a match on the pitch, not outside the pitch. But CAF coming up to say that Senegal forfeited the match for a game that they left the pitch, came back onto the pitch, and won the game. Talks about the credibility of CAF.
All right. You see, Moyo here is not shifting grounds at all. Moyo is standing on that hill that, look, the game was played on the pitch and the referee decided the game on the pitch. His argument, he can take this argument for the next 100 years and he's not willing to shift. You can see he's holding on that argument. That CAF coming back to come and put a decision down when the referee, who is the chief pilot of the game, decided that game, is even a blunder on its own part. But you are saying it's a bold move. Explain that to us already.
Okay, it is a bold move. And why did I say it's a bold move? CAF did not check that, okay, this game is already over. Let's just overlook it. They came back. That shows the intent to protect integrity of the game. That shows how serious African football has been over the years. Because let's take a look at this. If CAF had actually let that slide, what would that mean for next games? Would that not become a tactic by other team? Let's go into the game. Then the coach will tell his players, if things are not going our way, walk out. Then from a tactic, it becomes a trend. Everybody wants to walk out of a game, then come back in. See, the fact that a walkout has already been recorded, meaning that game is actually wrong to start with.
Okay, if you're going to stand on that hill, that there has been a lot of speculation that even at that tournament, Morocco seemed favored. Referees were giving them calls their way. Now, this particular move, does it not justify what people have been saying, that Morocco seems to be favored and they are about to be favored again by giving them this particular ruling?
Morocco wasn't favored. CAF was doing what CAF is meant to do. CAF is following the rule. See, there is a point at which you will understand the rules of a game, that using that rule makes it seem like a cheat code. The Moroccan team understood something that the Senegalese team lack, and I mean that literally. L-A-C-K. L, the law. They understood the law. A, authority. They know that the authority will uphold this law. C is consequences. They know that for this, everything, there's going to be consequence. For the Moroccan players, because others may cite that there's a bit of unsportsmanship-like behavior. But check, the so-called behavior, which actually displayed between fans and the second-choice player of the Senegalese team, there was no direct interference with the players. So, and the K, which is the knowledge, Moroccan players have knowledge of this. It's a game. Emotions were rising high. If the tables were turned and it was actually Nigerian final, we know what we would have done. So it's a game. But in that game, they followed the rule to the latter. So it made it seem like they were cheating, but actually they did not. CAF did not rule the game to favor them. CAF did not rewrite rule. They picked the rule that had been existing before. There is no actual rule in the CAF game that says stealing a player's towel will land you in this kind of crime. No. But there's actually a rule that states that if a player walks off or a team walks off, there are set rules, consequences, and CAF just took from that playbook.
All right, all right. Thank you. Well, you heard him. There was something he said that I took note of. The unsportsmanship of Senegal players could be the reason why CAF decided to reverse and make this rule. I mean, is that not a ground for that particular game to be turned around, actually? Because you guys were both playing on the pitch. This is men's football, for crying out loud. Why walk out of the pitch? You can as well make your protest while on that same pitch. You are emphasizing on the pitch now. Yeah. Why didn't they stay on that pitch and actually emphasize and protest? Why walk off?
Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm not here to support Senegal for walking off the pitch. Walking off the pitch means they broke the rule. However, the rules state that if a team leaves the pitch, and doesn't return for a specific period of time onto the pitch for the game to continue, they seem to have forfeited that match. However, Senegal broke that rule. Rule is rule. No team is bigger than the rule. But then, they came back onto the pitch. The same referee you mentioned, that once a ball enters into the net, who blows the whistle and deems it a goal? The referee. That same referee blew the whistle for the final to continue, and Senegal won the game.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I never said the referee actually has the power to blow the whistle and declare the game won. I said
a goal.
And declare a goal, like a goal. It's a good situation.
Who declares a goal when a goal is scored?
The rule, not the referee. The referee.
Who blows the whistle?
The referee is enforcing a rule that has been set. The referee doesn't set the rule.
So now, you said the referee is enforcing a rule that's already been set.
Yes.
Was he not aware of the rule, leaving the pitch, seeming it a forfeit? For them to come back onto the pitch, that same referee blew the whistle for the game to continue. Now, I'm not saying that Senegal did the right thing by leaving the pitch. And you mentioned some of their players causing the issues and all of that. Do your findings. Some of those players were sanctioned. Even the Senegalese coach was also sanctioned and fined. That even some of the fans were willing to go extra miles to contribute to pay the fines for him. But he did not allow that. Let's come back to the discussion. They were fined, yes. But stripping them of a trophy they won on the pitch in front of millions of fans because they broke a rule that was They broke a rule on the pitch, and months later, you overturned the decision. Now, my question is this. What does it leave us as football fans, that I come to watch a game, I enjoy every single moment of the game, the good parts, the bad parts, win or lose. And then I see a scoreboard, 1-0. And I come back 3 months later, 2 months later, and see that that same game was 3-0 in favor of the other team. That leaves me in confusion as a fan. And the football is for us. We football lovers love footballs, and we watch it on the pitch, not behind the scenes in the court of reputation of sports. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's get these dynamics right. Football is won on the pitch, right? From the very moment the Senegalese players walk off the pitch, they don't actually deserve to leave the trophy any longer. You forfeited the match.
But
You walked away.
They did anyway.
They did. They came back in. Now, the referee has the highest power on the pitch, right? But that's where the power ends, on that pitch.
Who awarded the trophy? Who awarded Senegal the trophy? The trophy that they did not deserve to lift. Who? Which body awarded that trophy to Senegal?
So you are literally fighting for something that was not supposed to be for you.
Now, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I said Senegal broke the rule.
Yes.
I agree with that. However, that same body saying stripping them off the trophy they awarded to them leaves the fans in confusion. I cannot watch a football game. The football game starts from the first whistle, ends the final whistle of the referee, and we all see the scoreline, we see the results. Players train, they compete to win or lose on the pitch. You can't play football on the pitch. The football game determines the result of a match, not some written outcome by the CAF body. Yes, fine them, punish them for their behaviors, but not for your mistake of not punishing them at the right time. Now, my question to you is this. You said the rules are rules, and CAF had to sit back and then look at the rules and all of that. But then, how about the timing? Why did it take them 2 months after a competition like AFCON has been held on global stage to make such a big decision?
Okay. Why did it take them 2 months?
Yes.
First thing first, there is no rule that actually decides the duration of time for an action to be taken. And when there is no rule, there is no crime committed. If CAF decides to even extend the duration of that 2 months, they are still well within their rights. If it's not a violation, they should not be up for discussion. That's one. Now, secondly, why were they awarded the trophy? The referee was well within his limits to actually make that call during the game. There are other times whereby referee we have to even go to the VAR to check. The referee has the power during that game. The game is already seeming chaotic from that point. The game is already seeming chaotic. We have fans there, and everybody is wearing clothes. You don't know what is under that clothes.
Now,
I may come for that game because I love football.
Yeah.
What if I have an issue with me? Then as a fan, I have to sit down there and watch the game, and you expect me as CAF. What comes first? It's the welfare of the fans, the welfare of the game, integrity of the match.
What does this decision, what does this delay decision by CAF does to the welfare of the fans? Because you mentioned chaos, you talked about chaos. But then, I'm seeing it from a perspective of confusion. Yes, there was chaos on the pitch. Not everybody, including myself, I watched the final. I did not like how it turned out because the competition had been a brilliant competition up until that point when Senegal left the team. However, I'm not in support of Senegal. I'm in support of, you mentioned the welfare, being in favor of the welfare of them. But then you also mentioned chaos. The chaos happened on the pitch. And now, CAF made that big decision. The fans are confused. What do you have to say about that?
The fans are right to be confused. Why? Because the decision is not actually made to surround just the affairs of the fans, but the affairs of the game in total. When it comes to this game, at times we make rules that seem like, naturally, humans, we are hardwired to feel that we are cheated whenever things don't go our way. Naturally.
But when they are away, they won the game. On the pitch.
They won a game after the game has been called off for forfeiture.
The game went on.
See,
who has the highest authority on pitch, which you mentioned?
The referee.
And the game went on. They won the game. You said,
okay.
You mentioned something. That's why I'm emphasizing on this.
Okay.
You said the game was called off.
Yes.
Fine. In that case, they went off pitch for about 15 minutes before they came back onto the pitch.
But he is saying the credibility of the game is why he's more interested. You are so much about the fans.
I'm so much about the fans.
Yes,
because the
he
fans
is talking about the integrity of the game in itself.
Okay.
That is what he's talking about, the brand, the integrity of the game itself.
Yes, precisely.
Now,
okay.
What this affects the integrity of the game is this. Pinpoint 2 or 3 examples of other bodies, footballing bodies, who have made this kind of blunder that CAF made.
Quick response before I go on this break.
Okay, mentioning other football bodies in this case is not actually up for this discussion.
No, I'm saying
we are talking about CAF here, African football.
Yeah.
You cannot compare with any other continent.
Yeah.
Tournament, yeah.
So this is what we are talking about, CAF. So I would like us to stay on this topic.
All right, we're still on this topic. Not to worry. Put your hands together for these guys once again. Well, as you can see, this is no longer just a sports debate. It's a question of justice. When we return, Nigeria Speaks, the audience will be offering their moment to ask their questions. If you're just joining us, this is still the big... Thank you very much. If you're just joining us, this is still the big... From passionate fans to football analysts to everyday Nigerians, now let's hear from the audience. Yes, you are the first to bell the card. Just sit down and ask your question and tell us your name, your school, and spill your question.
Okay, my name is Timothy Omotolani from
Right.
McPherson University.
Right.
My question goes directly to Omowale.
All right.
If Morocco had later won the AFCON, would this decision still come later? Would CAF go back and check and fine or penalize Senegal for walking off the pitch?
Thank you. All right. Omowale.
Okay, first things first. Let's ask ourselves. Did the Moroccan team actually default? No, they did not. They followed the rules in the rulebook. So if they had actually won, then it's a fair game on their side. And afterwards, did the Senegalese team actually make an appeal on that behalf? Like they were? No. The game from the start is seeming this way. So if the Moroccan team had actually won, we won't be even having this discussion. And mind you, the reason we're having this discussion now is because we feel like the Senegalese team actually did win the game after that controversial issue there. And it's just simply because things did not go the way fans want. And if it had gone the way fans want, they won't be having this conversation.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So my question as well goes to Omowale.
Yes, tell us
My
your
name
name.
is Ademiwa Tolowani
Okay.
from McPherson University. So based on past events, most of CAF's decisions has always tended to favor the host countries. In this case, it's Morocco. And even in the game, what caused Senegal to actually leave the pitch was being that they didn't like what the referee had already done before, and they walked off the pitch. So my question is, are rules more of a suggestion to host countries like Morocco in this case, or are they actually a guide towards the game? Because it felt very much like a suggestion for Morocco. If they had won, I doubt it would have turned out this way. That's my question. Are they a suggestion, or are they actually a guide?
Okay.
Okay.
You heard the question.
Yes, I heard him.
All right, it's okay.
Now, you use the word favor. It's unmeasurable. There is no way we can actually put favor on a scale and say, are you favoring? The word is unmeasurable. Now, secondly, you said we are favoring CAF based on past events. They tend to favor the host country. Actually, I would disagree with that because CAF is actually following the rules in the rulebook. This decision was not made when the game. CAF did not go back and rewrite the rule. They picked from the rule. And the rule simply states, when you walk off, you forfeited the game. And the consequence to this rule was actually what was administered, a forfeiture, 3-0. And that's all.
Thank you very much. Case closed. No arguments. Thank you. I like the way you are dropping the response to the, oh yeah, fire him again. He will fire you back. Oh yeah. Okay.
My content creator. I want to ask, we all watched how Hakimi picked towel. You understand? So I want to ask, what do you say about that? Sorry.
Okay.
You heard the question?
Directed the
You
question to
said,
you.
what should we say about Hakimi picking up a towel?
Hakimi
Yeah.
picking towel from the pitch.
On that day.
Yeah, on that day, on that match day.
Okay,
Understand?
more like
What
an
do you-
unruly behavior. How do you address that?
Okay, so there are two on two types of unruly behavior on the pitch. We have the misconduct and we have direct violation. Now, misconduct, when a misconduct actually occurs, it's in the place of the referee to actually give sanction to players and coach alike. Now, if you have to follow this rule to the letter, the rule simply states, whatever is in the rule book should be followed. There is no way that it is written on the rule book that picking up a towel is an offense.
Okay.
So if it's not an offense, then there should be no consequence for that action.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah,
hello.
fire him.
My name is Chinonye Ogweri from McPherson University.
All right.
We both watched the match on that day, right? Why didn't CAF see the fight between Senegal and Morocco on that day? And also, Morocco, we all saw the scoreboard 1-0. Morocco did not score anything against Senegal. How come they're now putting 3-0 for Morocco? Because they didn't score nothing on the final.
Okay.
Well, it's actually so nice that I'm here to represent the rule and order. Because one thing about rule and order is that we teach, we reteach, and for at times whereby the teaching doesn't seem heard the first time, we do it again. Now, when we're talking about rule, football rule, when you walk out of a football game, there's a forfeiture in the match. This is a constant, not a variable. See, the problem about this is that we see this game, we run it with emotion. This is football, this is real world, this is not telenovela. This is not a game whereby we are looking for antagonist and protagonist and looking for happily ever after. In the real world, here. So, this is the real world.
Right.
You may come for happily ever after, wait for happily ever after, and when happily ever after comes, it takes to come back later. And it is a variable, not a constant.
Sorry, are you sure you're not a lawyer from CAF? Put your hands together for this guy, though. All right, let's have you. Next question.
My name is Mary from I'm an insurance consultant.
Right.
So my question goes to both of you. I want to push the question to both of them.
Right.
Where do we see strength?
Okay.
Where do we see weakness?
Okay.
Opportunity and threats
Okay.
in both parties that played the football that day?
Thank you very much. You got the question. Where do we see strengths? Where do we see opportunities and threats with the both teams that played the other day? So she's looking at the conflicts from both sides, the merits from both sides, the weaknesses from both sides. So can you just quickly give a quick response to that?
So I think the merits, let me start with the weaknesses from both sides, is the fact that they allowed us to witness that chaotic experience in the finals. They were violent. Most of the players, including the Morocco players and the Senegal players, were violent. So on their side, they understand that football is played with our leg. We kick the ball, not gather around and try to throw punches or something. That's a weakness on a national stage
Before the world.
when the world is watching. Yeah. So that's a weakness on both sides. But the strength I see here, and I'll name out one person, Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane was the only person that stayed on the pitch and went inside only when he went to call out his teammates. Even he was stopping his teammates from going into the dressing room. However, their coach was telling them to go inside because they did not agree with the decision. That's the strength of leadership. Sadio Mane is the captain of the Senegal team, a great footballer, a great leader. That's there, his strength. If the other Senegal players had the type of character Sadio Mane had, none of them would have left the pitch. So that's strength there. However, on the other hand, for Morocco, the game went on. They were awarded the penalty. The penalty was lost.
Was their chance?
Was their chance to win.
And they blew it.
And Brahim Diaz did a panenka and lost the
Their
penalty.
opportunity.
However, there was no reaction from Morocco after losing the penalty because they got the penalty rightfully.
Yeah.
So they played the game up until the end, even after all the controversies and all of those
You've
things.
done justice to it. It's all right. Put your hands together. All right. Are you asking?
Both of us.
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry. He has answered.
Yeah, good day.
You're asking
So
a question?
My question is directed to you.
Your name?
I'm Samuel Adisonya from Unilag, University of Lagos, Faculty of Law. So my question is particularly to you on the black suits.
Mwale. Okay.
Yeah, Omawale. So I just want to understand, you are hinging your argument towards rules are rules, but then again, what's the essence of the rules if they don't satisfy the greater good of the people watching them, watching the game itself? Because you are particular about
you
values.
You have asked your question, actually. Put your hands together for him. Pass the mic. Yes. Rules are rules. What is the essence of the rules if it's not serving the greater good of the people watching the game? Abi?
Yes. And yet again, the rules are for the integrity of the game. Football rewards passion. The rule decides who gets it. When you're talking about that, because as a link to the previous question that was asked before, I see no weakness, I only see strength in what CAF did. They remained in that position. The rules is not meant to satisfy you. You are only satisfied when the outcome satisfies you. That's how it goes.
Thank you. You have done justice. Oh yeah.
So my name is Oyebaji Emmanuel from Akufesa University. Okay. So my question is directed to the dark man there. So you seem to you're someone who understands the rule very well, and I just want to ask this question now. Wouldn't it not be better if they made a rematch? There was a rematch instead of shattering the hearts of millions of people. So that's my question.
Okay. Yeah. A rematch.
A rematch.
Would a rematch have been better than this aftermath of the rules and decisions they're making?
Okay, a rematch. Something was mentioned earlier on, appeal, a legal move. Something that if the Senegalese team, okay, not even if, they are, of course, obviously not satisfied with the outcome, they should have done. But that would not undermine or eradicate the first consequence that should have come in place. They could have appealed. Okay, why don't we have a rematch? Rather than trying to cut corners or trying to claim a particular trophy that has been lost. And he mentioned that Sadio Mane stayed on the pitch. Now let me ask you, does one player make up a team? He doesn't make up a team. A tree cannot make up a forest. If we are going together as a team and I step forward, then it's no longer a team. It's just me going there. Okay? He mentioned big issue. What if he did not mention the big? Then what is it? It becomes an issue. So that's the problem. So that's how it works.
Your contribution now.
Okay. Thank you. It's been a brilliant conversation. My name is Wale Fakwi. I'm a public affairs analyst. Now, we saw the preponderance at which that decision was made to stripe off Senegal of that title. And I believe it's arbitrary. I believe it's impulsive. And I believe it's whimsical. Now, I know that usually, like he mentioned, and I want to allude to that fact that once a decision like that goes off, okay, there's a protest, and it was because of the penalty that was awarded, which was contentious, and they should have communicated. There should be a communication between the referee and the VAR, according for visual assistant referee now, during that match, and for the referee to call them back to also officiate in the match, I believe legitimize the process, the entire process. And what we now know is that football is won on the pitch, not in some smoky boardroom, like he asserted.
Right.
So I believe that CAF needs to rewrite and bring us on the path of integrity and governance and fair play.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Champion.
All right.
I want to differ with the last speaker.
Okay.
I believe that sports is not all about skill.
All right.
Sports is not all about sportsmanship. There's something we all have forgotten. It's called structure.
Right.
There's a structure that existed before the skill came to the pitch to play, and that skillful person should show the right sportsmanship. And that's where we're having the issues here. So in a sane climate, permit me to say, this should not even be up for discussion. My friend here that is putting on, well, I love his suit and his appearance.
Moyo.
The reason why you are this good is because you are respecting the law of decency into this place. If you had come in naked, I'm sure they would have chased you out. There's a law that if you don't adhere to, you will look like a nuisance. So CAF is simply upholding the integrity of the game.
Let me also point this scenario, just like my friend there has spoken. Let's look at that very well. My friend here, Chinoye, asked a question which he didn't answer. She said, we saw Senegal win the match 1-0. And now we're seeing 2 months later, 3-0, and it's awarded to Morocco. And she asked, Morocco didn't score a goal.
Single goal.
The reason is this. I will help educate her ignorance. Article 84 of CAF regulations states that when a certain team walks off the pitch, you are tend to have forfeited the match. And indirectly, or even directly now, 3-0 is awarded as forfeiture score to the opponent. Okay. It's in the rule. Article 84. My friend is only quoting Article 82. There's Article 84 of CAF regulations. So that automatically makes Morocco to have 3 and gives 0 to Senegal. So my point here is this: beyond the skill, beyond the sportsmanship, there's a structure. And that structure says when there are rules, rules are meant to be obeyed. Timing is irrelevant because we're talking about, it's just like if everybody believes a lie, it doesn't make it the truth. Right. A lie is still a lie, regardless of how many people believe it. And the truth is still the truth, regardless of who doesn't believe it.
Thank you very much. Put your hands together. Thank you. Thank you. I will still defend Chinoye, and I'll tell you why I'm going to defend her. Chinoye also is trying to ask, a team that did not score a single goal, even though the rule says it's a 3-0 for forfeiture, she is talking from a fan's perspective. You did not even score a single goal on that day to justify being given a 3-0 awarded decision, even if the rule says it. I think Chinoye is just speaking from a fan's perspective. So let's just give her that. Put your hands together for her. All right, thank you. All right. One decision, many perspectives, one controversy, a continent divided. When we return, final words. This is still the big... Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the big... Right about now, we are coasting home. And of course, as usual, the fashion of the show, we get to have the final takes from our wonderful guys who've been holding it down here on our stage. Moyamade Adigbite, how do you end in 30 seconds?
So I end with this. Like I started, the rules are rules. The football game is played on the pitch, and the results of a football game should end on the pitch. But then, I throw this question to the fans and viewers that are watching this. If you watch a football game and you see a scoreboard of 1-0 full time, the referee blew the final whistle, and then months later, the rules that were broken during the game override the outcome of that game, what does it leave for you? Is it chaos during the game that you think about? Or now, you're more confused whether the game is played on the pitch or behind the scenes we're not even watching? Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Omowale Akintunde, please round off in 30 seconds.
My father used to tell me something. If 2 people walk into a room, friends, and they have a discussion, and each time they keep walking in and coming out, they smile, it means no truth has been said. We have to disagree to agree, but not to agree to disagree. I understand the fact that fans love the game, but the fans that love the game should also understand that for every game, for every football game, there are set rules, there are structure. We have more fans trooping in the football game. How would you feel if you walk into that structure another day and the building doesn't hold? We fall and we go down the drain. If every football game is going to be decided by emotions, then it's no longer a football game. It becomes a well-acted drama.
All right.
So thank
you very much. Put your hands together. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, as with the style of the show, when we are done with conversations like this, we expect both guys to come here and shake hands because we don't have to leave here with bad blood, right? Oh yeah, shake your hands now. Eh? Celebrate yourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Nigeria, today we witnessed more than a football debate. We confronted a difficult truth. In modern football, victory is no longer decided by goals alone, but by rules, by authority, by interpretation. Senegal won on the pitch, but lost in the boardroom. CAF enforced the rules, but sparked a continental debate. So we ask again, was this justice or overreach? Perhaps both can exist at the same time. Well, right here we have students from McPherson University. Please put your hands together for them. Thank you. And of course, we also have students from the University of Lagos and LASU as well. Put your hands together for them as well. Thank you. Yeah. And for the viewers at home, join the conversation online at The Big Issue on TVC, hashtag Big Issue on TVC. Watch us live on YouTube at TVC Entertainment. Special thanks to our guests, Muyomade Adigbite and Omowale. Put your hands together for them right here. And of course, our technical crew and our program producer, Mr. Francis Azubike. Put your hands together for him once again. Until next time, Nigeria, stay passionate, stay informed, and never stop asking the hard questions. This has been The Big